My name is Heather Bigelow. I am 46 years old. I have MS, obviously. That's why we're here. I am a nurse by trade. I'm not practicing at the moment because of my MS, but I still maintain my nursing license, so I am still a nurse. I was diagnosed in January of 2013, and my initial onset was catastrophic, to say the least. I had a pretty normal life, pretty active life, busy, work, friends, family, very fulfilled life prior to my diagnosis. It started off with symptoms that I just thought were maybe just me getting old or I was working too much. Started off just fatigue, some vision problems, a little bit of balance issues. Didn't think anything of it, and I woke up one morning, January 3rd to be exact, 2013, and I had lost pretty much all the feeling in my legs.
The morning of January 3rd, she woke me up like freaking out and didn't understand why she couldn't walk. So we took her to the hospital and they did testing, and she was diagnosed with degenerative. What is that? Degenerative?
Spinal stenosis. Yeah.
That, and she has like bulging discs in her back, and they just chalked it up to that, and like, okay, it's fine, we'll put you on some medication and you'll be fine in a week or two. And it helped a little bit, and she started being able to stand, and they said, okay, let's just try physical therapy and see what that does. So one day she was in the middle of physical therapy, and the physical therapist was like, something's wrong, because you're not getting better, you're getting worse. With your diagnosis, this is not how this should be at this point.
My condition worsened to the point where I had become incontinent. I had lost bowel and bladder both. I had lost pretty much total feeling of my legs. My left arm, I had no feeling in my left arm, so I went back to the hospital. They sent me to the Cleveland Clinic in Cleveland, and 2 days of constant testing, and they did a lumbar puncture and an MRI with contrast, and they diagnosed me with multiple sclerosis.
When you really start to learn and you realize she's never going to have the same quality of life. We were told she probably will never walk again. Watching her and hearing how much pain she was in every single day, and knowing that there's nothing you can do to help her get through it other than to be there for the emotional support. When she first talked to me, hearing all of her treatments and watching how they really weren't helping, and they put her on steroids, and watching what it was doing to her, the adverse effects, you ask yourself, is this worth it?
Well, we've watched her go through a lot. When we heard this diagnosis, it was just devastating. We had never had anyone in the family ever be diagnosed before with this. We had just lost our father to Alzheimer's just about the same time. So that made it even more devastating, I think. And it was a very short amount of time from her diagnosis to when she was physically completely incapacitated.
So I had the choice to go home or go to a nursing home. And it was at that point they told me that I probably would not walk again. My relapses were often. I tried different disease-modifying medications, MS medications, with little result. They made me pretty sick. So after about three different medications I had tried, I just took my chances with the MS because being sick in bed 3 to 4 days a week is no life. So I went home. I opted to go home instead of to a nursing home because I have a very wonderful set of friends and family, and I have friends also in the medical field who were at my side daily when I got home. I had physical therapists, occupational therapists, speech therapists, nurses, visiting physician, and nurses' aides in my house every single day.
We never got into this far, but my husband and I had many conversations. We actually prepared for her not to be around. We prepared for burying her because she was that bad.
But to watch her fight through that, not once, not twice, but repeatedly, wheelchair bound, bed bound, to be able to even stand for 10 seconds, we take it so much for granted. She fought through that and would be exhausted just going through that therapy. So you just think, God, there's got to be something.
I'm kind of a why, like I need to know why. I'm not the type of person that will just accept it is what it is. I'm just not that person. There's always a reason, and I had to know. So when I was diagnosed with MS, I had to know why. What caused this? Why did I get sick? The doctors couldn't tell me. We don't really know what causes it. Nobody really seems to have an answer. Nobody had an answer, so I figured I'm going to try and find an answer. I'm going to find the answer myself. There's many rabbit holes that you end up going down when you start doing research on anything. So I followed all of them. I went down every rabbit hole that I could find, and I started hearing about this stem cell. I had not a lot of, I had a little bit of an idea of what it is, just working in the medical field. I had heard of stem cells and that it was a new thing and it was kind of up and coming, but I didn't know much about it. So I started researching stem cells, different stem cell treatments, different stem cell companies. That rabbit hole, per se, is what took me to Blue Horizon. The name came to me, and so I researched.
When she first talked to me about stem cell, you're thinking, because you hear good, you hear bad. Then we thought, okay, we support you, go for it.
I did some background checking on the company, on Dr. Mailing and everybody, just to make sure that I was doing the right thing. And with the legitimate company, I was very happy with what I read, what I found out, other testimonials that I had watched, and I knew I was in good hands and going down the right rabbit hole.
Stem cells are being used to treat a wide range of conditions such as stroke, spinal cord injury, Alzheimer's, and Parkinson's disease. The stem cells are used to regenerate the human body without synthetic drugs or surgery.
The stem cells are harvested from placental cord material at C-section. There's no injury to the baby or the mother.
Dr. Brian Mailing, an orthopedic trauma surgeon, is the chief medical officer at BHI Therapeutic Sciences, the leader in stem cell therapy and research.
So that's when I decided to go to Blue Horizon and get the treatment. I figured at that point, I don't have anything to lose anymore.
For me, it was very exciting because of the reality of something being positive coming for her. But then it was terrifying because I'm a nurse as well, and I'm her best friend, and one of these little kids running around is mine. So I wasn't able to go and be there for her, so there was a lot of frustration, but it was exciting at the same time. I mean, I think we all were emotionally struggling with the fact that she had to do this, but waiting for the positives to come.
But to see the hope that she had because of it was amazing, and to be able to see that life back in her soul. I think that's a lot of, what pushed her to do it and have the strength to do it, because it is very scary. And that's really what has gotten her to this point.
Not going to get this treatment was not an option, so whatever fears I had to put them aside and push forward.
you know, when Lana was born, we have pictures of Mom with a walker, and she taped a little seat to the walker so that she could play with her and move her around, and you know, she'd sit in the wheelchair with her. And
my grandbaby was born, and the thought of not being able to play with her and get on the floor with her, carry her, not being able to do that was not an option. So I decided to do it, and with the help of my family and my friends, I was able to make that happen. I was in Slovakia. I had my first treatment in December of 2018. I was there for almost 4 weeks. I had the intrathecal treatment and the IV treatment, and then I came home. My pain was less, my balance was getting better, and then over the next probably month and a half, I started noticing cognitively I was sharper. I was able to remember things better. I was not losing words quite as much. I was articulating. I rarely had to use my cane. I just started feeling like I was getting my life back. My vision was improving. I just started feeling my overall health was improving, and I could tell. And the more time went on, you know, the more the year went on, the better I was getting and the better I was feeling. People were noticing that I was doing better, that I was feeling better. I would still have some bad days here and there if I overdid it, you know. I would still have some days where I would have to rest. But I have not had a single relapse since my first treatment in 2018. Then I went back again in December of 2019, had another set of 3 treatments done, and I feel even better than I did after the first one.
I just didn't know what it was until my mom told me, but as soon as she explained it to me, it seemed like it was a really great thing. And my first thought was, why don't they have this readily available to people? If it's really if the research shows that this helps people, it's amazing to me that they're not, you know.
If I'm being honest, the results that I have from this treatment, I just really don't understand why I had to travel to the other side of the world in a foreign country, away from my friends and family, and everything I had to sacrifice to be able to get there to do it. I shouldn't have had to do that when this is available. It's available. It's out there. Why did I have to go through all of that just to be able to get it? That's the part I don't understand. It should be here. It should be accessible to other people, and that's not acceptable. It shouldn't be that way.
I hope that what we're doing right now, if there's enough people and enough people look at this and we can be loud enough, that this can help another family, because it's been so emotional for all of us. It's the worst thing in the world to watch somebody that you love and hold so high, one of the strongest people I've ever met in my life, go through something like this. And it's something she shouldn't have had to, because had this treatment been here when she was diagnosed, years of pain and suffering could have been avoided, and it wasn't. And that's not okay. It's not okay that our country lets us go through this, knowing that there's something that can help us, all of us, not the families too. It's hard for the people going through it. It's hard for their families as well. And this shouldn't be like this. There is something that can help. Why aren't we using it? Why aren't we taking advantage of this?
I missed out on a lot of events, family things, because I just wasn't well enough to go. And now I'm strong, I'm healthy. I have my life back. I'm busy all the time. I never sit still. Maybe more, I'm probably on the go more than what I should be, but I'm just so grateful that I am able to do the things that I can do today.
It's night and day. Absolutely night and day. I mean, the relapses that she would have would take her from, fully functional in a matter of months to when she was diagnosed to being paralyzed from the waist down. And at, 40 years old, that's, I don't know how she survived that. And when she went for the treatment and started feeling better, I'm sure there was a ton of apprehension on, is this real? Is this gonna stick? And it has. And it's been nothing short of a miracle, an absolute miracle.
The first time I saw her afterward walk to my front door without a cane, mind you, for 5 years, never saw her without a cane. Sometimes couldn't even see her standing, sometimes mostly in a wheelchair, sometimes couldn't even get out of bed. To see her walk to my front door with a big smile on her face. Her skin was beautiful. I could tell she wasn't in pain. Her balance was there. I mean, all you could do, I'm getting goosebumps, all you could do is just hug her, and it's like, God, this was worth it.
I'm standing at the door going, is she going to be able to do this? Is she going to fall? Is she going to lose her balance? Do I have to go run out there and grab the baby from her? Because that was the way we're so used to working around her. And to watch that, I just stood there, just shook my hand. I'm like, really? You really did this?
This is amazing. It's like you said, it's nothing short of a miracle. I mean,
my life is so different now than what it was 2 years ago, or a year and a half ago, before my first treatment. I still don't believe it sometimes. I still wake up in the morning and I think, I can move my legs. I can get out of bed and with no trouble. It's not, I couldn't do that for over 6 years, and to be able to do that now is something that I don't take it for granted. I still wake up and think, thank God I can move, I can walk. I'm very grateful for that every single day. But I also am aware that it can go away. It's not a cure. I'm not cured. I still have MS. I still have multiple sclerosis. But it's better. It's better, and this treatment is helping. It's helping me to have a better quality of life than what I had before. And for that, I'm very grateful.